And gerbils are the other people who are going to be...
The other people? This is hardly David Attenborough. Life on Earth.
Yeah, we've got to regard them.
Crocodile coming down the bank. Here comes Mr. Bishop.
Mr. Ratty. They're not sure if the bill covers rats or not. This is a picture taken this week of a rat.
Oh, that's the robo-rat.
Yeah.
Testing a rail.
Seeing if it can go faster than the train.
What is that rat doing? What's been done to it?
It's got electrical signals. It can turn left or right.
It can go and find people in earthquakes and collapsed buildings.
Yeah.
This one looks a bit lost if it's looking for an earthquake.
And if you've been in a collapsed building, the first thing you want to see is a rat with a battery tied. We're saved.
It is a controversial Bill of Rights for domestic pets. Under the new proposals, dogs will no longer be allowed to have their tails docked. Hardly a primary concern when you've just kissed goodbye to your testicles. It's been a week of heartwarming animal stories. In Aberdeen, a cat was rescued by an RSPCA vet from a tank of freezing cold water. He told the Times the animal was cold and wet after its experience. All those years of training finally paying off. In the Pacific Ocean, a mongrel terrier was abandoned on a shipwreck for 24 days. By a stroke of good fortune, the dog was spotted and winched aboard a passing freighter, unfortunately bound for South Korea. Ian and Penny, your revolving paradox. Off digital.
This is ITV Digital, which has now been switched off. It reminds me there was a wonderful letter in the Daily Mail the other day from some woman who's saying, I find it very surprising that ITV Digital has gone bust. What with it being advertised so heavily by an illiterate yob and a knitted monkey.
What's happened to the monkey?
There's a fight over it.
Yes,
it's got two job offers.
Yeah.
What are the offers? Director General of the Beeb, obviously.
ITV Digital claim that it's part of their assets. And it's claiming a knitted monkey as an asset.
Well, they're quite desperate, aren't they? Yes. There's not the books, is there? Assets. Monkey.
Yeah.
Rabbits knitted.
Knitted.
Do you know, it's quite...
Liabilities.
Yeah.
Football.
So who's getting a refund? Which ITV Digital viewers?
Not very many of them.
There are some viewers who subscribed after the administrators took over. How stupid would you have to be?
Yeah.
So what other TV disaster this week?
Was it the Channel 4 morning show? RI: Southeast.
I think it's a displaced colon.
Ah.
Oh, you wouldn't want one of those, would you? Particularly not in the morning.
No, it's not pleasant.
Is it good? Have you seen it?
I've seen bits of it, yes. 5 people behind a desk. I don't think it'll ever catch on. Its target audience, it says, is 16 to 24-year-olds, although it seems to have turned out to be 16 24-year-olds. And so how's it doing in the ratings?
Not very well.
Not well, no. Being beaten by BBC One, GMTV, obviously.
Massively.
And
yes.
Clifford the Big Red Dog on BBC Two.
Are you a fan?
Of Clifford the Big Red Dog. I am now. Yeah.
We'd like to see him.
Oh, yes.
There we are.
Oh.
He's not very big.
He's very small, isn't he?
Barely a dog.
Have you
Unless,
watched
of course,
the
that's
programme?
a giant little girl. Oh, where's the rest of him? That's impossible. Look, how could he get his head through that tiny window?
I think he goes into the building and then becomes
And
big.
then grows. Implausible.
Oh, I see.
Unless he's mistaken it for a duffel coat.
So it is more bad news from the world of television. ITV Digital turning off its pay channels at 7 o'clock on Wednesday morning, although it wasn't until Thursday afternoon that anyone noticed. The parent company, Granada, is currently facing a £90 million loss, a debt they can only hope to recoup if someone buys a pasty at one of their service stations. And finally, in this round, Paul and Graeme, fareway to prison.
Ah, this is the gentleman, Mark...
Collinson.
Collinson, yeah. Yes.
Golfer.
Yes, who was, for many years, has been a sort of accepted practice that, you know, golf courses that have sort of lakes in them, bodies of water, the golfers knock the balls into the lake. Somebody comes along, picks the balls up, puts them back to the, you know, the golf club, and he got caught doing this and sent to prison.
And is it a scandal, do you think?
He paid tax on it. He didn't deceive anyone.
Yeah.
He goes to prison for 6 months.
But isn't he being let out now?
No, he's got an appeal and he could be out this weekend.
Right. And who stepped in?
The Daily Mail.
Yes, Tarbuck and Brucey, and the latest addition is Tony Blair.
Really? He can see a bandwagon a mile off, can't he?
Do you play golf? You must be, you're Scottish.
No, I don't play golf. No, do you?
No.
Funny, you're called Angus.
Even more curious, I'm not actually Scottish. Well, I'm half Scottish.
Would you play half a round, then?
And he only pays for half his round afterwards.
That's an exaggeration.
Is it?
This is the man accused of theft after diving for lost golf balls and has now been sentenced to 6 months in prison. According to the Sunday Telegraph, this weekend, Mr. Collinson should have been taking his young daughter to her swimming classes, where she's an expert in front crawl, backstroke and retrieving small objects from the bottom of the deep end. The prison sentence has cut short Mr. Collinson's ball-retrieving career. This summer, he had hoped to make a fortune in Japan by standing outside the stadium during England's next penalty shootout. Which, slack behaviour means at the end of this whole round, it's, well, Paul and Graeme who are bang on course, ahead as they are, 8-4. Round 3 is our odd one out round, and vice versa. Ian and Penny, your teenage icons are John Prescott, Donald Rumsfeld, Brian Glover, and Jimmy Savile. KBE.
Cigar smokers?
Is it physical violence?
There will be in a moment. No, not as far as I'm aware.
Because Jimmy Savile was a wrestler and...
No,
Brian Glover was a wrestler, Donald Rumsfeld was a wrestler, and John Prescott was a boxer.
Yeah.
The odd one out.
Is the right answer.
Yeah.
Donald Rumsfeld, when was he wrestling champion?
He was a wrestling champion in 1958.
In 1956.
Oh, that was 2 years out.
Yeah, very close. And how has he been described recently?
If you look at the picture, he's a tag wrestler.
Yeah, there we are.
He's a babe magnet for the over 70s, according to Dick Cheney.
Does that count as babe magnet?
Small pigs.
What name did Brian Glover wrestle under then?
Oh, don't tell me.
Red Nose.
No, I'll come back to you in a minute. It was Leon Aris.
Extraordinary, yes it was. How do you know that?
I knew it. I was a big wrestling fan when they used to have World of Sport in the 1970s.
Was it on in the afternoon?
On in the afternoon.
I'm just wondering.
The answer is that they're all ex-wrestlers with the exception of John Prescott, who was a boxer. The Sunday Times recently ran a piece on Jimmy Savile, pictured here with his mother before she died. At least we hope it was. Brian Glover was proud of having no hair, telling The Sun, if someone wanted a bald northerner for a part, I had a chance of getting it. That was assuming Thora Hird wasn't interested. Paul and Graeme, your fierce creatures are Peter Mandelson, Gareth Hunt, Brian Glover, and Sue the Chimp.
Is Peter Mandelson the odd one out because he's the one who's a confidant of Labradors?
He's whispering something, isn't he?
The Labrador's briefing against Mo Molam.
This has got to be about tea, I think, isn't it? Wouldn't you say?
The chimp tea.
Yeah, the chimp tea. Brian Glover did the voices over for Tetley's.
Tetley's.
Gareth Hunt famously was the coffee. Was the coffee man? That's right. Yeah. So Gareth Hunt must be the odd one out because he's advertised coffee.
Is the right answer again. What's Mandelson working on?
He's working on the tea account.
Which one?
He's joined an advertising it. Is it Lipton's?
It's not Lipton's.
It's Thai food.
It is Thai food. So Gareth Hunt, yes, is the odd one out, as he acted in an advert for Nescafe. Why is that ironic?
Well, I don't know. Why is it ironic?
Because he doesn't drink coffee.
That is ironic.
It's
isn't
extraordinary.
it? Do you bank at Barclays?
I do, actually. I don't have to bank at Barclays, because I don't advertise them anymore. But you obviously
Don't you?
not noticed.
Who's taken over from you then?
The Premier League.
The Premier League, all of them.
Gosh, you were expensive then.